Let's take a look at in theaters, and it's still a loaded month. This is August. Summer is in full swing, and I just needed to know if you guys had any idea um, who this frog is. This is Freddy as FR07. That's the name of the movie. Freddy as FR07. This saw a nationwide release. Like I don't put independent, you know, released in 5 theaters movies on here. But that man will take you to the theater. And Ben Kingsley, who's also excellent in everything he does. So no, never.
What?
I am sure I've never seen nor heard of this.
I'm not sure how I feel about a frog with the voice of James Earl Jones anyway.
And
it sounds horrible.
What are those things under the water?
Deep voice frog, get out of here. What are these things under the water? What do you mean?
There was they look like Pokemon. I don't know. There were the sea creatures, and they had I don't know, flippers for arms and legs.
What in the hell what kind of frog is he?
He's the kind of frog that keeps it real with his
Did you see what just happened?
He shot things and they turned into butterflies. Is that what just happened?
I felt like I just saw him shoot magic out of his eyes, and the magic turned the guns into butterflies.
Well, if you just believe. Yep, you did see that.
God, I'm dying. What is this? Look at this snake woman.
This is
so. Maybe this is why there weren't many other companies other than Disney releasing animated.
It's got to be terrible.
Disney just sits back in its chair and like kind of crosses its hands, like in amusement to this kind of stuff.
Got to be terrible until Illumination, until they came and started smoking them. Not smoking at all. Disney's doing their thing too.
Second animated release this month. This is Little Nemo: Adventures in Summerland. I don't know what came first. The movie. I'm gonna did the. There was a video game, Little Nemo: The Dream Master, and now I don't know which one is based on the other.
Did you see the Jigaboo?
No. What? I don't know.
Yep. Go back. Right there. There he is. What is that? Show it, Daniel.
I'm trying to get there.
Click on him. It's always funny to me. Y'all need to stop. Whatever. That's not. I don't know. It is what it is.
It is what it is. I'd like to just
you kind of want to give the excuse that it's something else, but
I'd like to say for the court that I do not screen these trailers. I just throw them on the list so I can enjoy them with you two.
Whatever. I liked it.
Yeah, this is
the ignorance of youth. I didn't know to be offended. So am I even offended at all?
Right.
That's kind of a Matrix thing, right?
Right.
Is the spoon even there?
Right. Very good analogy. You guys remember the show Twin Peaks?
Yep.
I mean, even if you didn't watch it, it's hard to not remember. I'll say that I never watched it. It's one that I've kind of thought about trying now. I remember trying a couple episodes of it back when it was current, in '92, and it's just being too weird and slow for a 7th grade Daniel. But then I think the show wraps up and they end it with a movie, a theatrical release.
Sure. I just listened to a story on NPR about the town where this movie was shot and life in the Pacific Northwest and all manner of things. It was super interesting. But the town where the movie was shot, it was like a legit little small town, and all of a sudden, like, this Hollywood studio big film production drops down into their town, and the dynamics of life change, but only change as much as a small town will allow a freaking TV show to change it, right? So kind of the big takeaway is that show was just kind of shot in this small northwestern community with a bunch of tree or lumberjacks and things of that nature and whatever it is that they did up there. There's an interesting story about the show and I guess the movie and life there. Say all that to say I'm interested in going back and maybe watching the show one day.
Yeah, I'd like to give it a chance.
They used locals as extras, or did it say
I would
anything
assume
about
so.
that?
Yep, I would assume so.
It was probably like, if you live here, you may randomly be an extra in this show. Like you may be in the background and you're just going to be okay with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the whole conversation turned into this pretty interesting look at how life has changed from back then to 2019 with technology and all that. Even there,
This is a boxing movie.
what is this?
In my memory, this is a boxing movie. Oh,
Right?
a young Heather Graham.
Yeah, man. That's the top 10 in the 90s, right? Heather Graham is.
I think so. She definitely was in the 90s. I don't know how I feel about it looking back, but
yeah, she drops down to like maybe top 50
in the 90s though,
or top 100 maybe. But 90s, yeah, she was like that.
I feel like this trailer is burying the lead in my memory, but maybe that's intentional.
Is this the Great White Hype?
This is before the Great White Hype, which I'd also love. This is Diggstown.
Yep, absolutely.
With a
does he fight? He's the fighter, right?
He's the fighter, Louis Gossett Jr.
Absolutely is. Yep, I remember this. It was good. Oh, and he has to fight all those guys in a row.
Yeah. Now I'm remembering that part of the movie.
Yep, he comes in.
Any of this.
He
has to like go through this town, and it's like one night where he's just continuously fighting all these different guys.
He's got a mean right cross. Just setting them up and knocking them down. Yep, this is Diggstown with Louis Gossett Jr.
Yeah, that's worth a watch. That's definitely
absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know that people are living this life, but that's a great couch Saturday. That's a Saturday afternoon movie. Early Saturday afternoon.
That's a perfect description of the movie. Yeah. I have no memory of this, but because of the amount of theaters this released in and the gross that it had, throw it on the list. This is called Christopher Columbus: The Discovery. Zero memory of this. Zero interest in this.
Yep.
But
so you're looking around your house all.
Yep. There is no F's around me.
No F's at your place? Cool. Yep. I don't see any of it.
I don't even know how there were any at the box office for this, even back in 1992. This looks like something that National Geographic would run at like 4 a.m.
Okay, so did they release this because it's Columbus Day was coming up?
Is what? When in the year is Columbus Day?
It was Monday.
It was this past Monday, right?
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, that would maybe.
What is this? This looks familiar. Oh, hold on. Don't tell me. Hold
okay,
on.
Not telling you.
What is it? What is this movie?
The guy from Three's Company had a decent little movie.
Critter's a man. I was just talking about someone with him.
I was forgetting his name.
What is this movie?
This guy that's the bad guy in the movie or whatever is so... He just looks like someone you could never like.
So they get sucked into the TV like a...
Yeah, I don't remember seeing this.
Like Blade Runner or something?
Or something. There's even an animated moment.
Pleasantville gone wrong?
What is this? I totally remember this.
The name's going to be like a word
It's like
play.
Stuck in TV or some dumb mess right there. What is that? That's not the name of it. I totally remember this though.
It's Pinky. It's Pinky.
And that guy's the devil, right?
Is that
For sure.
right?
Yeah, they're in hell, huh?
Driving over Miss Daisy.
Oh my god.
Oh man, a little reference to other things.
That's good. That'll say. All right. There you go. Okay.
Oh, cool. They have a Three's
yay.
Company homage. That's
Good. I'm glad they did that because I was totally getting prepared.
I'm zero interest in Stay Tuned. It looked too goofy.
Oh no, I think it's worth a watch.
It looks like it might, just for the cameos and
the cameos did look
pop
good.
culture references alone might hold my interest.
Sure.
To see if I can name them all as they come on screen.
I think if you hit play on it, I could definitely hang, but it's not one I'm going to hit play on.
Poor Brandon Lee.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, this one, it saw decent release, decent numbers, but had to give a quick nod to Brandon Lee. This is probably pre-Crow, if I had to guess.
It's got to be right. But then again, I don't know. I feel like Crow is the first movie I remember him being in.
I feel like no one knew who he was before Crow, and he had a couple. Oh no, didn't he die in the Crow? No,
that's what I was thinking.
Now I can't remember.
I didn't want to say anything.
Absolutely.
I thought he might have died during the filming of The Crow because I feel like there's a story where somebody else had to
somebody had to finish it for
him, but the face paint made that not so bad to do.
Yeah, so I guess we didn't know who he was before The Crow.
Yeah. Rapid Fire, Brandon Lee.
Okay, yeah, that actually looks familiar.
Son of Bruce Lee.
The name of it sounds familiar. Yeah, shout out to the dragon and the dragon's boy. Hey, what are you doing? That guy. He's creepy face to me. He's always been slightly playing creepy face. Him.
He does a nice creepy face himself.
He does. That's what's his face. What do you call him? John Connor?
Yeah, that's right. Young Edward Norton. No, is it Edward Norton?
No, he wasn't John Connor.
Edward Furlong. I'm sorry. Edward Norton is still around.
Yeah,
Edward Furlong. Edward Norton was the Hulk for a little.
Man, look at that guy's face. What is this?
This is a sequel. Does that help? What? Does it help that I say it is a sequel? Oh,
it's Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, there you go. Man, it really
that's terrible.
Has gotten away from the source material from the looks
Did Spielberg write this? I'm gonna go with no.
Stephen King did not.
Spielberg. Yeah.
I would be very surprised if this is a Stephen King movie.
Return of Jafar.
No, written by Richard Houghton.
I'm dead. Pet Cemetery 2, Return of Jafar.
What's his name? The guy from Third Rock from the Sun. You'll know him when you see him.
Oh, what is this? And it's an old boy from Coach.
This guy.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Whatchamacallit killer.
Oh, good reference there. What was his? Now I'm going to spend the rest of the show. Yeah, John Lithgow.
Yeah, Lithgow.
Oh, you got me, Wesley. Thinking.
What was his name in Dexter?
No, Dexter's one of my favorites ever, and I'm so mad I can't remember what he was called.
Oh, look at you, creepy. Oh, you're crazy.
The Trinity Killer.
The Trinity Killer.
Thanks. I can move on with my life now.
Wasn't he also Barney Stinson's dad in How I Met Your Mother?
Really? I've not watched enough
This
How
is
I Met Your
looking
Mother.
good. Yeah, How I Met Your Mother is not bad, but I still don't watch it.
I like Neil Patrick
That was
Harris.
all. When it was on, I was all about How I Met Your Mother.
It's my wife.
It was one of the ones I looked forward to every week.
Give me my child. What do you think?
I heard it had a.
This looks good, bro.
Yeah. This is I remember the title. I definitely have not seen it, but it looks very interesting.
Sorry.
Lolita Davidovich. Man, I didn't think I was going to get that, but I did. Raising
Cain. All right, yeah, this looks good, bro.
Put it on your
I may have
queue.
to go back and watch
Yeah.
that. Yeah, he's looking super crazy.
They were three brothers.
30-second trailer.
I'm good.
I don't. Yep. I think we already spoke. We already spoke of our disrespect for the legitimacy of these kids actually being ninjas.
So I was watching. Not watching. I was talking to my closest millennial friend, and he loves the Three Ninjas. I'll just say that. He loves the Three Ninjas. So that's totally generational. There's a generation that respects them. It ain't ours.
I was getting this movie confused until I started doing the reviews.
I totally.
The one with Chris Farley. What was the one with Chris Farley?
Beverly Hills Ninja.
There you go.
Ninja training's worth it.
Who's number 42 on the Lakers? In 1993.
They're probably pretty nice
It
kids.
was in the background just a second ago.
Is that Worthy?
Maybe.
What
It's a
is
tall
this?
guy. This is where your review mentioned a little bit of Home Alone was in this movie, and now it makes sense seeing that part of the trailer. Man, are these kids gonna murder these people?
Sam, come here.
Shout out to that big Asian guy.
I feel like I've seen him in some things.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Alright, moving on.
This is still Three Ninjas? Obviously it is, but
Yeah.
what an interesting
I think they're
trailer.
going to make like more than two.
Yeah, sounds right to me also. This fool right
I
here.
think it's our first Nicolas Cage sighting in our
Hey,
journey through the 90s here. But
what's her name?
it certainly won't be the last.
What is her name? What's that actress's name? I can't remember her name.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker. There you go.
But a funny thing happened on the way to the wedding. Sorry, man.
It's a romantic
Is
comedy.
this something in Arizona?
You are on.
It's not just Arizona.
You're in the neighborhood of the correct title for this movie. This is Honeymoon in Vegas.
Honeymoon in Vegas. All right.
She was pretty. She was pretty.
She's still pretty. Yeah, whatever. She's still pretty. I like Sarah.
I don't.
Liked her since. Was she on Square Peg back in the day?
I don't remember Square Peg.
I don't either.
I just remember. I mean, I don't know that I've seen one episode of it, but I just know her from Sex and the City now.
Yeah, I've never seen an episode, but that's what.
And that's just what I think of when I hear her name. Quite attractive in '92. Nicolas Cage's bride to be. Is that Mr. Miyagi? It sure is.
Pat Moriarty? Not Moriarty.
Pat Morita. Yeah.
Pat Morita. Pat Moriarty. That's funny.
There we are. Honeymoon in Vegas.
What else was she in? What movie? What was her big?
She definitely had something that she's a little more known for in the early 90s. Here is one of our trivia movies from last week.
Single yellow star.
The single yellow star from our previous week. In my mind, both of these. No, let me not say that on air. Whatever. In my mind, both of these girls were more attractive last week when I was thinking about the movie.
Oh, that changed?
It sort of changed just now. Yeah.
Yeah, not quite as hot as you remember.
Nope.
Agreed.
Which?
Somewhat better, also. Makes the movie a little bit more real.
Yeah.
But you know that's the one for me right there.
She's the one doing it for me too.
That is the move right there. She's winning.
Who wants to live in
I hope she wins.
Oh, she's the bad girl. Or do they? Oh my! I'm so confused now. Oh, they have.
Redhead's the bad girl.
Are they both redheads at one point? Did she make her hair match?
Okay, yeah, she made her hair match the other one, huh?
Yeah, I was getting real confused.
How do you lock the terror out?
Don't make me come get you.
Already invited it in.
What are the
You gotta
alternatives?
get yourself someplace else to live.
Bridget Fonda, Jennifer Jason Lee, right? Yeah.
Jason Lee.
And
Oh,
Steven
solid.
something. He doesn't get any credit. This movie's not about him.
Living with a roommate can be murder.
Single white female. All right, our number one movie of August 1992.
The trailer for the win.
Pretty high level cast in this one.
Right.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I'm gonna go on record saying I've never seen it, but I generally have to be forced to watch a western,
Well, I thought that you were dead. Hell, I even thought I was
and
dead.
then I always like them.
But I found out I was just in Nebraska.
And a bad reputation
You're the one who
Is
killed
the man
William
gonna
Martin
show
and
up?
robbed that train over Missouri.
was as good as gold.
There he is.
My guess is you're calling yourself Mr. William Money.
Say what?
I didn't know Morgan Freeman was in this.
No meaner than hell, cold-blooded damn killer.
I ain't like that anymore, kid.
Wasn't Gene Hackman in the Quick and the Dead as well?
I'm pretty sure Gene Hackman was like your main antagonist in Quick and the Dead, but maybe I'm not remembering it.
I thought so too.
I'm blending my movies because I was expecting Gene Hackman and Bruce Willis in this one. That's not who it is.
Just because we're going on this killing, that don't mean I'm gonna go back to being.
I think maybe what it is 70s westerns made me think that I despised westerns, but somewhere around 88 with Young Guns and Tombstone and Unforgiven looks great. There was that Bruce Willis one called Last Man Standing, I think. Quick and the Dead. And then even more recently,
Maverick.
310 to Yuma was great. They're not bad. They just didn't sit well with me for earlier times.
Better clear on out the back.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I remember Shane being good from the olden times, but
That was a good one. That was a good old school western for sure.
It's time for my favorite part of the show, where we look into September with a little bit of trivia. Cass, what do you have for us this week?
okay, guys, it's slowing down in September. The movies aren't being released as hot as they were. But before we get into the movies from September, let's have a word from our sponsor. This week's one-star review is brought to you by the Saturn S-Class automotive family. The 1992 Saturn S-Class. Get ready, kids. In just a few short years, this is going to be your first car. Dentless door panels? Check. Factory cassette player? Check. Virginity? You bet your sweet Saturn tailpipe. Saturn S-Class future car of 16-year-old high school kids and 30-year-old hippie chicks. Saturn, a different kind of car for different kinds of people to smoke weed in.
What is happening? Shout out to Saturn.
There was a time where I thought, I was like, oh, Saturns are kind of cool. They're kind of different.
Yeah, I don't dislike them.
The two-door Saturn S was a sporty little car. I wouldn't have mind having one of those, but they hippie chicks and high schoolers were gravitating towards them.
I got a feeling this is what you were in for. Yeah, there it is. The
Yeah.
Saturn S series. So
And there were so many of them that were that champagne. God bless you, Saturn.
well, thank you for sponsoring this month's one-star reviews, Saturn.
Yeah. All right. So our first movie scored pretty high on the Rotten Tomatoes. But let's see why Mr. Plural V did not like this movie. Not just the movie doesn't solve anything. Whole series of events doesn't solve anything too. It's just well directed. So he liked the direction of the movie, but didn't understand
He
it.
didn't feel any closure.
No.
Didn't feel closure, and there's a mystery.
Okay. Okay, so we've got,
All right.
what else we got?
All right. Aaron G says goes too far with the violence for me to ever want to see it again.
A violent,
Mm.
potentially mysterious, well directed. Yeah, we're years away from Pulp Fiction right now, which is for some
Yeah,
reason.
Natural Born Killers was the first thing in my head,
Oh,
but
that's
I
a
feel like
really
we're years away from that one too.
maybe not. That's a good guess.
Yes, before Natural Born Killers, but you're heading down the right path.
Okay.
JP said the only movie that's violence was so nauseating, disturbing that I actually had to leave the theater.
Wow.
What in the world is this? It's not Colors.
No.
Nothing gang related. What else would it have been? Something along those lines, you said.
Something with
Not a Batman movie.
something
On
with.
some Dark Horse mess.
I don't think there was anything like that in '92, at least.
Super violent.
I'm trying to think. Neighborhood. All right. If you like Pulp Fiction and you like Natural Born Killers, what were you watching before that in '92? It shares a somewhat of a theme. I can't think of any. You got anything else? Any other clues for us?
All right, here's one. I'm gonna jump down a little bit to give you guys a bigger hint. Even Steve Buscemi couldn't save this cinematic
Reservoir
emotion.
Dogs. Let's go.
There you go.
Let's go.
Ah,
I can slap myself.
never seen it. Feel like I need
Never
to.
seen it.
Classic.
I've only seen it once. I understand. I remember a lot of blood and violence.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember all the characters had what colors for names. Nobody went by their real name.
Sure. Absolutely.
But I don't remember the story. That's basically what I remember from the movie, and I've only seen it once. So
yeah, Buscemi was Mr. Pink.
Does it?
And
I've always thought of it as like a mafia movie, like in the Goodfellas, Godfather neighborhood. Is that wrong?
they all wore suits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of wrong.
Okay.
It's not even that big of a story. I haven't seen it in forever, so I don't want to like stand. I've only seen it once or twice, if I'm being honest, right? I liked it a lot. It's a movie that I really, really enjoy, but I've never felt the need to go back and watch it again for whatever reason. But if I remember correctly, it was like, not really. I don't think so. Like,
I don't remember that being a.
The scenes that I liked from it, like the most famous scene in the scene where Buddy probably walked out, is where a guy's ear gets cut off, right? And while his ear's getting cut off, that "Stuck in the Middle with You" is playing, right? And so that's kind of a classic scene that you'll see parodies of throughout time after that. But it's post a crime being committed. They all commit a crime. Their names are Mr. Pink and Mr. Brown and all these things because they're going by aliases, and they've been put together by mystery person, if I'm not mistaken, and things kind of fall apart. And it's the fallout post a robbery of some sort that they've. So how about this? I'm going to say that I didn't even see it. It came out in '92. We've established we were 7th grade at that time.
Right.
I'm not going to say I wouldn't have been interested in it, but I'm going to go with I didn't know that it was a thing worthy of pop culture respect in '92. Had I known it was cool to watch it, I probably would have, but I didn't. So I didn't. The reason that I ended up watching it is because it got referenced in Swingers. So I probably watched it around 99, 2000, because you remember they were talking about, they gave props to, I guess it's Scorsese. No, it was Tarantino. They give props to Tarantino for the still shot that they do with the guys walking. At some point.
I do. I remember that part of Swingers, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Swingers kind of famously copied that shot, and it's the shot of the left screen there with him walking past the brick wall, the one where it says classic trailer. That's the shot that gets mimicked
when
by
they're leaving the bar or
Favreau
going from
in
bar
Swingers.
to bar. Yeah, in Swingers.
Yeah.
Cool. You got any more for us?
I do. Jump right on down to the next one. Private U said, why and how this lead ever got starring roles is way beyond my comprehension. This is a pretty basic third-tier movie with a plot that unfolds without surprise or twist. Expect from the story what you would of your basic piece of toast, and you won't be too disappointed.
Super vanilla movie. Down and out guy gets the girl.
That's probably
Bad
fair.
person gets beat, becomes hero, who wins the big game.
Maybe one of the next clues will help us out with this genre.
I'm gonna throw
Perhaps.
Rudy out there just to guess off the first video.
Oh,
off
Rudy.
the first
No,
clue.
it's not Rudy.
Okay.
All right. John T said, so you know the whole school is gay when they're checking out the lead's uncircumcised penis in the gym showers.
Okay, so it's a school thing. That's not. It's 92. It's definitely. I don't know.
I'm sorry, that review got me. That was funny.
It's not Fast Times, right?
No.
Fast Times, I think, was
That's 80s.
earlier than this. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were so many. There was at least one or two a year, right? Of like high school movies. This in the 90s, you know.
High school movies, uncircumcised penis. So high school movie with some Jews in it. Jews are circumcised. Never mind. Who's not circumcised?
You're heading down the right track.
Adam Sandler. No, 92 with. I'm trying to remember like a uncircumcised penis joke. I'm never going to pull that out of my. I don't know. Penis jokes that would have landed with me back then.
Yeah, none. There's the same amount that lands with me today. None.
Sure. All right. So, yeah, we need another. Can I buy a?
Maybe Mark E can point you guys in the right direction.
Mark.
Okay.
If this whole movie had been as good as the last two lines, then maybe I wouldn't have wanted to kick my own ass for watching it. Overwrought and boring with a bunch of crap performances from actors who grew up to know better. If they're going to oust the lead for being Jewish, then why aren't they getting rid of a character for being homosexual or this other character for being an un-Jewish prickbag?
Is it Revenge of the Nerds too?
It is not Revenge of the Nerds.
It's no Revenge of the Nerds movie? Okay.
Why is it so bad to be Jewish in this storyline? I cannot figure that out.
I've never. Okay, so I just found. I found that out like around 23, 24, maybe 25 when a group of guys I was hanging out with randomly started calling each other Jew for whatever reason. Hey, you're being such a Jew right now. What in the world are you talking about? What's wrong with Jews? Make that make sense to me all of a sudden because
Right.
I'm in this little hole in Alabama for whatever reason. But make me understand what makes a Jew different than any other white person.
It's a very fair question.
Well, then you get answers that I don't agree with, but people have answers.
Of course.
And I'll say that. Everybody, there's different cultures on the planet. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, this hint might help you guys a little bit from our good friend Nate W. Encino Man fights the Nazis.
Brendan Fraser is in this movie.
Brendan Fraser.
Blast from the Past comes out later, right?
I'm not a Brendan Fraser guy, so
I was sort of a Brendan Fraser guy.
Brendan Fraser in high school. I feel like maybe the name of the movie will be but I got nothing.
All right, I got the one last hint for you here from Aaron B. or Aaron B.
Aaron.
Okay. You done messed up.
Horrible last few lines to an otherwise actually, this whole movie was pretty bad, but it had the Goodwill twins.
Man, I'm really intrigued by this. There's two people now that have complained about the final lines of the movie.
Okay, so it has the Goodwill twins. Is that what they said?
Mm-hmm.
So that's Affleck and Damon. Is that what he's trying to say?
Yep, Affleck and Damon
are in this movie.
Ben Affleck is the un-Jewish prickbag.
Is this Mallrats?
No, it's not Mallrats. Brendan Fraser was not in Mallrats.
No, but yeah.
That does fit the Ben Affleck character.
I would have, if you would have said there's a movie with Brendan Fraser and Damon and Affleck, I would have been like, is there? And I still am. I can't wait for the revelation that's going to come.
Okay, so not Fast Times at Ridgemont High and not Days. Those are I got.
I have a feeling that our listeners are just like screaming
There,
at
yeah,
their
like
monitors right now.
I got nothing.
You idiots are supposed to be experts.
Yeah, like I was comfortable with. I don't watch Brendan Fraser movies too tough, but
Yeah,
no,
we've
like
talked
it's
about
Affleck
this.
and Damon. I'm like, oh,
I should have seen this movie 3 times based on the people that are in it.
You guys are. You're gonna know exactly what. All right, you ready for the title of the
I'm
movie?
ready. I give up.
School Ties.
Oh, okay.
man, I'm good. I'm good on that.
I think I've only seen it once, and it was forever ago. So,
no, I know what you're talking about. I kind of know what you're talking about. But
I
feel no embarrassment for not knowing that movie.
Okay.
But whatever. I put respect on its name. I know it's a thing.
Yeah.
I just whatever. Not for me. It's not.
And the final review scored very high in the Rotten Tomatoes department. And
so it's
I don't know
a good movie.
if this is the exact movie, but I believe we watched a version of this movie in school. So that's the only reason I threw it on the list.
Schindler's
Outsiders.
List.
Final guess.
All right. Both of those are wrong. So let's see if I'm an F can help you guys out.
Rosewood.
This film was terrible. It was a massive insult to an amazing book. The acting is terrible. The soundtrack is bland and repetitive. Most of the time, it's just the fake annoying chirp of crickets. It looks like it was lit with half-broken bedside lamp and the creators found in the garage. Either this pile of crap was boring me to death or making me laugh at how bad it was. Avoid this at all cost.
Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, that was the name that I had in my head. Yeah.
Was that it?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. It's the book.
The
I kind of
crickets
gave it away. Yeah.
Yeah, in the book thing, right?
I started indexing when you said book. I'm like, all right, what? I think we did watch the Gary Sinise version of this in school.
Leonard's
probably.
class, wasn't
There's multiple.
Y'all watched it.
I actually remember thinking it was okay.
I think it's a good story from what I remember of it, but
that's
classic though. It's definitely a classic.